Hi, this video is all about how one misunderstanding sits at the core of all the suffering in your life. That's a big claim, but I'm going to lay it out for you. There is one misunderstanding that leads to all human suffering. And let's lay it out and let's do something about it so we can have better lives, shall we? I am Brent Phillips. I am the founder and creator of the awakening dynamic system of energy healing and higher consciousness. And I have devoted my life to applying all of my skills and knowledge with science and engineering to explain metaphysics, the law of attraction, energy healing, the subconscious mind, higher consciousness. So that's a pretty big claim, right? To say that one misunderstanding creates all your suffering. So let's lay it out. The beginning of this chain of sorrow starts with a belief in separation. That's the short answer. You believe you are somehow separate from all the other people and things on the planet, don't you? And I don't mean that in an accusatory way, right? That's just how we're trained to think. So as an example, you go, what do you mean, Brent, that we think we're separate? As an example, clearly we have separate bodies, right? I got a body, you got a body, that guy over there has a body. If you don't eat for 3 days, I don't get hungry, right? Because our bodies are separate. So that creates this belief in separation. So not only do we believe that our bodies are separate, we also believe that our minds are separate. And of course, there's truth to that, right? I have a set of memories and knowledge and a personality, and so do you, and so does that guy over there, right? And if I go read a book, your mind does not get that knowledge. So clearly, there is some level of separation, at least with the body and the mind. And heck, there is also separation on the level of the soul. You go, well, Brent, all souls are one. Well, not really. Because let's think about that for a second. I got a soul, you got a soul, that guy over there has a soul. Notice that they are somehow distinct and separate, right? This is my soul, that's yours. So we have this thinking that all of us humans, clearly we got a body, right? We got a mind, we got a soul, but we think we're separate. Well, here's the trick. We're not actually separate. What you truly are is not a body, not a mind, not a soul, none of those things. It is that which is the same, that which is connected. And I know it's hard to think about, right? This is the whole process of awakening to the truth of you. And when you see that, everything starts to change. But let's back up a little bit and lay this out really clearly step by step. So how do we get to the place where one misunderstanding creates all suffering? Well, we start again with separation. I believe that I am separate from you, right? I live on this side of the hill, you live on the other side of the hill. My tribe wears purple, your tribe wears blue, right? Whatever. You celebrate your gods on Saturday, I celebrate my gods on Sunday. Insert culture difference here, right? So we start with this idea that you and me are separate, right? My people and your people are separate. Okay. And we think that because, again, we have separate bodies, separate minds, separate souls. And we don't realize that we're not the body, mind, or soul. We're something different. So first you think we're separate. Okay. That on its own, not too dangerous. But it gets really dangerous when we mix in a helping of insufficiency with that separation. So as an example, there's only so much good land to hunt on. So my tribe wants to hunt in the forest and your tribe wants to hunt in the forest. But the forest isn't big enough for all of us. There's an insufficiency. So we start with separation, right? You live over there, you're not me, right? I don't feel what you feel. We then mix in insufficiency. There's not enough of what we think we want. Not enough money, not enough good jobs, not enough attractive partners, not enough places to buy homes, you name it, right? Whether you're a caveman or a 21st century entrepreneur in Silicon Valley, it's all the same. So separation plus insufficiency equals competition. So I think you and I are separate because you live over there, you wear purple, I live over here, I wear green, right? You take your day of rest on Saturday, I take it on Friday. You only eat fish on Wednesday, I only eat beef on Tuesday. Again, it's all arbitrary, right? So we're separate and there's not enough of something. Therefore, we compete. And in the extreme, we go to war. And I tell my people, hey, we live on the good side of the hill. The gods are with us. The people on the other side of the hill, they're evil, they're dirty, they're bad. They worship the devil or something, right? And we get all, yeah, we got to stop them, they're wrong. And then we go to war. And we start causing horrible, horrible, unimaginable pain. And we feel justified, right? And have you noticed that pretty much every bad thing that happens in your life is there because someone else did it? Now, to be fair, the same is true of the good things. So let's look at that for a second. Every good thing and every bad thing that happens in your life is a result of other people's actions. And so almost all the pain you're suffering right now is a result of other people's actions. I mean, after all, how much better would your life be if your landlord said, don't worry about the rent. If you got the extra money, send it by way. If not, we're cool. Oh my gosh, right? Wouldn't that be a breath of fresh air? Imagine you go to the doctor and it says, you need surgery, but you're in luck. I'm doing free surgeries this week. That doesn't happen, right? So we go out and we live our lives and we justify this idea that we're separate so that we can compete, and therefore we don't feel too bad about doing horrible things to other people. And I'm not going to get into conspiracies or any politics here. This is not about that. This is about spirituality. So how do we heal this? How do we heal ourselves so that we're not thinking we're separate? It's actually pretty simple. The process of awakening is nothing more and nothing less than coming to a crystal clear understanding of what are you? That's it. What is this you that you think is sitting inside your head and seeing things and hearing things and making decisions and taking actions? What exactly is that? And the process of awakening is way too big to get into in one YouTube video. The whole process of awakening usually takes something like 16 hours with a trained facilitator. But I want to give you as much as I can right now. So here's the solution. Expand your I thought. This is how we do it. And you're like, what the heck is that, Brent? What the heck is an I thought? Well, here's what an I thought is. What is it that you think is you? Where does you end and others begin? That's the size of your I thought. Now, for most humans living in the world today, their I thought extends only to their own body, only to their own person. Where my skin ends and the rest of the world begins, that's the end of me. That's how most of us think. So that's a relatively small I thought, one human. Now, some of you watching this may go, hey, Brent, that's not true. I think my children or my pets or my wife or someone like that is even more important than myself. Well, that's great. You're headed in the right direction. Your I thought has expanded. So if you're a really loving person, if you really love your family, and you would give your food to your children if you had to so they don't have to go hungry, congratulations, you're on the right track. You have expanded your I thought. It's basically when others' experiences directly impact you and you take accountability for it. So as an example, let's say you're walking through your town and you see some children that are hungry. They cannot afford food. If you have a big I thought, you're going to go, look at me, I'm hungry. Maybe I need to get me some food. You see the trick there, right? You see the other as you. And you go, hey, I'm hungry. I need to get me food. And it's such a simple thing. And if we look at the lives of our greatest spiritual teachers, Mother Teresa, Jesus of Nazareth, Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha, you name it, right? Martin Luther King, for a more modern spiritual teacher. They're all telling us to treat others as well or better than ourselves, aren't they? They all lived lives of service, not a coincidence. Why? They had a really big I thought. It's that simple. So I don't know exactly what was happening in Mother Teresa's head as she wandered through the slums of Calcutta, but I'm guessing it was something like this. She's walking through the slums going, oh my gosh, look at me over there with no food. I'm starving. Let's get me some food. Oh my gosh, look at me over there. I'm naked. Let's get me some clothes. You see how this works? So our greatest teachers saw that they were everyone, saw another's pain as their own. That just because you got a body and it's separate from mine doesn't mean that I am separate from you. That's what I want everyone to see here. Just because I got a mind and you got a mind and they have different stores of information in them does not mean that I am not you. That's what awakening is for. So as your I thought expands, you see everyone as you at some point. Everyone and everything is you. It's really that simple. And imagine if we all lived that way. Imagine if we all treated every other human on this planet as being just as important as us. And even better, the animals, the plants, the crystals, the air. We could truly turn this planet into a utopia. However, there is no political or economic solution there. Whatever great system you may come up with, it may be a lot better than what we have today, but it probably won't work with our level of consciousness. As long as we think we're separate, as long as most of the population thinks that if you're hungry, I don't care as long as I don't have to see it or hear about it, we're going to be stuck with suffering. The ultimate solution is to raise our consciousness. And you see how it won't work just by doing it with a few people, right? If a few people start doing this, others will simply take advantage of them and it will collapse. So this is why high consciousness experiments in the past have failed. We haven't been ready for it. But I'd like to think that we will be ready at some point. And I'm going to do everything I can to give you all the tools, all the knowledge, all the learning, so that you can overcome your own belief in separation and start being a shining light for the rest of the world. It's really not that hard to get to higher consciousness to start to dissolve your own suffering. It requires simply walking the path of awakening and being willing to surrender the agenda of the ego and to live instead as a vessel of divine will. And that may sound a little esoteric to you. Let me put it in more practical terms. Do you want to make way more money? Do you want to be much happier? Do you want to have more friends, more respect? Good. Learn this stuff. Higher consciousness, the path of awakening, is the only thing that really works over the long term. Because after all, if I steal your dinner and you go hungry today, and you steal my dinner and I go hungry tomorrow, that's really not a great solution, is it? That's what we're doing right now. Why don't we get together and simply say, hey, let's treat others as if they were ourselves, knowing that we are all one. And I know the rest of it would all take care of itself. So if you found this video useful, interesting, thought-provoking, awesome, that's why I'm here, right? Click like, click subscribe, smash that button. You don't want to miss out. I'm putting out lots of awesome new videos. If you are interested in perhaps accelerating your own process of awakening, check out the link below in the description. I devoted years of my life to creating a step-by-step process over 30 days called 30 Days to Awakening. 100% money back guarantee. You're going to love it. It will absolutely change your life. But that's, again, only for those that want to go deep into the spirituality. If you want to keep living from the ego and competing and suffering, don't let me stand in my way. I will not stand in the way. But if you want to do better, if you want to see what a new kind of life might be like for you, check it out. You got nothing to lose and the whole frickin' universe to gain. I am Brent Michael Phillips, signing off for now. Hope you found this interesting, useful, entertaining, even transformational. And I hope to see you again very soon. Until next time, please take care and namaste.